Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, social media world. Right, even though I've reviewed that before on TikTok, you definitely YouTube, but I don't know about TikTok. It's got to be like trying it again for the first time on social media for the first time in ages, and see if I've like it just about the same or worse. But to be fair, right, I did last week have one of these Emery cans, the Bad Apple. Tried it, and I did enjoy it, but it's too sweet. It's went from being my all-time favourite to maybe being number 4. Right, so far, here and now, right, but next time I get a new energy drink, or one that I've not tried in ages, and I review it to see if it's better or worse, because that's what I'll do, right, I'll get an energy drink, review it for the very first time, tell you what I feel it's like, and then maybe about 4 months later, review it again and tell you if it's any better, the same or worse. So that's what I'll do. Right, so it's like a re-upload, like a part 2 if you will. So, anyhow, right, when I first ever tried this liquid-based beverage that's in here, because the can or Emery can is far too cold to touch, and that has been brilliant because I've used it about 4 times now. And, right, the initial hit is just so sweet. You get an overwhelming burst, like a very, very, very carbonated, refreshing apple taste, and then no, I was going to try and take it out to read what the ingredients are again, but I'm sure it's apple, kiwi and sour cherry. But definitely though, right, ages ago I said that was my all-time favourite energy drink ever. And it might not be now. Like, here and now, right, my favourites of all time is the Ultra Paradise, that green one that tastes apple, cucumber and kiwi and lime, I think it is. And then it might be the Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red. Then the mixed one, the purple one, mixed. MIXXED, mixed, but I'll need to try that again. I'll need to get it out of Asda, because that's the only place I can ever find it. So I'll get it maybe on Monday. I needed that to settle my stomach. Because I've been drinking that, but it's far too intense. Anyway, so, the Ultra ones are my favourite now. I hardly ever have one of the sugar ones now. Even if I want to go down the nostalgic route, I have the original like green one, but I have the sugar-free one. But I think that would be really nice if you added a little tiny bit of like a really good decent chocolate into it, because it reminds me for some reason of chocolate lime, but without the chocolate. Right, I'll just have a tiny wee break, have a wee sip of it, and then eat a tiny little bit more of my breakfast and get back to you. Right. I was just thinking there that would be so much better if it had at least 5% less sugar in it. But as I was thinking, I did get right recently, because it is a really good deal if you really think about it. In B&M at the moment, I don't know if it's any B&M, but the Pacific one that I went into in Livingston Shopping Centre, back in the days it used to be JJB Sports. And anyhow, I got 4 of the Viking berry ones for £4.50, and if you really weigh it up right, in Home Bargains at the moment, I think it's about £1.49 for it, but the very first time I ever tried it was at Christmas time or just after Christmas, or maybe in between Christmas and New Year, with my money. I went into Livingston News Shop and paid $3.99 for it, but it's no worth $3.99, no way. It's only worth it a push, based on the flavour, about £1.25, but I weighed it up and it's about what was it, about £1.50 extra to buy them individually. So 4 for £4.50, and B&M's in Livingston Shopping Centre was a bargain, and I think I've still got 2 left. But the thing is with the Viking berry one, I tried it for the very first time ever on my birthday last year. So I was 39 when I tried it. Right, and if you get over the initial tasting like cough mixture, because it's got blackcurrant and blackberries in it, but it's also got sour cherry and apple in it, and it's probably one of the nicest, like, sort of wintry dark energy drinks. It's quite refreshing actually. But it tastes 100 times better when it's stone cold. When it gets to room temperature, it's very meh. Aye. That's the only thing is, certain energy drinks are only nice if they're absolutely ice cold, because at room temperature they're horrible. In fact, any energy drink or any liquid-based beverage apart from soup and tea tastes better when it's absolutely ice cold, because in another 10 minutes that's not going to be as nice as it was 5 minutes ago. But the thing with A1s is, especially this one, because it's quite intense and oomphed, because it's got like a really bright apple flavour and a really bright dark sour cherry flavour, is that when it's too intense and too sugary, you didn't want to drink it too fast, because the intense flavour and sugar will upset your stomach. That's why for instance, if you had a full sugar one like that one, or especially what was it? The Aussie lemonade one, because that's far too sugary. But if you had that one there, and say like the Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red, if you drank the sugar one, like, and gulped it, and then, or the next day had the other one, basically the Ultra ones are less harsh on your stomach, because it's less syrupy and less sugary. Aye. So they're just so much better these days, the sugar-free ones. Ultra. At first I never thought I would like them better than the sugar alternative, because back in the day when I first tried them, I always went for the sugar one, and I used to just get the cheap ones at Asda. Oh, it was crazy. Back in the days, if I know what I know now, I wouldn't have done it. But if I know what I know now, every one that I tried when I was younger, I would have kept, cleaned them out and put them on my shelf / wall. Aye, because the ones that I tried when I was younger are either no longer available or discontinued. But anyway, that's went from number 1 to maybe about number 4 or 5, because it's just too intense and the aftertaste is too sweet. If it was a lot less sweet, it'd be so much better. But anyway, Right, so I just wanted to tell you that is not as good as I thought it was when I first tried it when I was a lot younger. Still really like it though, because I really do like a crisp, nice, refreshing apple taste. But to be fair though, that would taste so much better if you were absolutely gasping on a drink and it was 20 degrees outside and you sat outside with your eyes closed listening to very, very, very soft, like either jazz or rhythm and blues music on a beach, it would make a little bit more sense that, because it's refreshing. But it's intense, but it's still really refreshing. I mean, basically and in essence, right, some of the energy drinks are just there to take for what it is, a liquid-based beverage, and it gives you energy, but that one it's more to be sipped and enjoyed. Because it's so intense, you didn't want to gulp it all at once because it's too powerful and it will upset your stomach. So it's better just to lightly sip it and enjoy it. That is no one that you can gulp. No way. Even if you're absolutely gasping. I mean, you could maybe first sip gulp about that much, but you wouldn't want to finish it all at once because it would really upset your stomach. The ultra ones are a bit less harsh, so you can gulp them a bit more. But I've never ever did that, because recently when I have one, I really like savour the moment and try and taste every individual flavour. And then if I can't taste every individual flavour completely, I look online and see what it is, like what the initial taste is, the medium taste, and then the aftertaste, and then I try it, and then it makes more sense. Right. So anyway, that is nowhere near as good as I used to remember it, because it's far too intense and sweet. But it's nice and refreshing, and it's a good, like, well, wait. I was going to say there it's very easily drinkable, but it's not really, because it's quite intense and harsh and oomphed. It would just be so much better if it had like at least 5% less sugar and sweetness, but it's still really refreshing. But not as refreshing as I used to remember it, because I like, well, because I'm older, it's just that I can take it or leave it with that one now. If basically and in essence, because this one is quite intense and in your face and very sweet, if it was ever going to get discontinued, I wouldn't lose sleep over it. But I would lose sleep over it if the purple mixed one was ever going to be discontinued, or the Ultra Paradise, or the Fantasy Ruby Red. I don't know why though, but sometimes for some reason I maybe like slightly overhype one of them, and then I'll try it and think, oh, it's average, and then about maybe 5 or 6 months later I try it again and it changes. Like that Fantasy Ruby Red one, when I reviewed it when I was doing in England. Actually, they reviewed it in Wigan bus station, but I really like it nowadays, and it's one of my, well, it definitely is hands down the greatest ever grapefruit liquid-based beverage I've ever tried in my life. Right, anyway, so I'm going to just look that up online to see exactly what it tastes like, and do my research on the Fantasy Ruby Red one as well. Right. But another thing just to finish off this video is that overall, no matter what, Monster have the overall best range and flavours and best can designs. Right, oh no, I think I'm going to sneeze. Hey! Oh no, I think I'm going to sneeze again. Hey! Right, anyway, I've got to go and blow my nose and take some medicine. Right, tatty bye. Oh no, I might sneeze again. Nah, I thought I was going to sneeze there. Anyway, I really need to go and blow my nose and take some medicine. Bye.